Hello and welcome back to the podcast that just won't make the decision, so you're all kind of fucked. Welcome back to another episode of the Love, Death and Movies podcast, the internet on film and breakdown and review show. The show that crushes watch this week after week. Every 2 months is a different genre. Every week in those 2 months is a different film in that genre. So follow us on everything. Join us the writer. Let's watch some movies. With me each and every week, Ash. Ash First Movies. Ash, how are you?
I am doing good, Harry.
Oh, yeah.
How are you?
I'm really good. Really good. We had a couple weeks of back-to-back recording sessions. Records. Yeah, it just sounded really like Victorian then. Yeah, because going on holiday next week, and I get back for a week, and then I'm going on holiday again. So it's like
You're so unlucky. So sad for you.
Ash, after that, we're never going anywhere again. Except we're going away for a weekend in June. We'll talk about that later.
Oh, okay, so which is it? Okay, quit making things
then
up.
I get back from that, and then it's like nothing. Like my girlfriend keeps fucking booking in holidays, and I'm like, hey, we haven't even gone on any of them yet. Let's just fucking wait. Like, let's just
wait till you're
chill.
done with a couple, then make more
Let's
plans.
Just chill out, you know. Fuel is insanely expensive now. The world's about to die. I get why she wants to see everything before it all dies. So, yeah,
I get it.
But yeah, we're doing a couple of back-to-back recordings. So if you see us in the same clothes, don't judge us. It is what it is. Today, though, we are going through... Is this the last? Yeah, this is the last of the closed-setting cinema with Knock at the Cabin. Do you want to go through what we're doing for the next couple of months now or at the end? We can do it
Let's
now.
do it at the end. Let's do it at the end. Make them wait around. You have to listen to the last episode, and then you can find
like
out.
No, I like that. I like that a lot. But before we get into Knock at the Cabin, Ash, how's your week been? What have you been up to?
Yeah, fine. I feel like mostly I'm going to focus on what I've been watching or like reading because I just feel like my life is so uninteresting right now. So I don't have a lot of like stories to tell.
That
But
already
you
is
know,
interesting, though.
that's just, I'm still unfortunately in my recovery to a certain extent with my surgery. So, I'm making the most of it. I'm watching TV, movies, and reading books. So that's what I'm focused on right now. And that's okay. So yeah, I finished this week the final book in the Good Girl's Guide to Murder trilogy. It's called As Good as Dead. Finished that. I really enjoyed the series. It's definitely young adult, but it's still fun. And this one had like a little bit of a different tone than the first two, so I really enjoyed it. And then today I started Kill for Me, Kill for You, or Kill for You, Kill for Me. It's Steve Kavanaugh is the author.
Oh,
But I
sick,
started
yeah.
that
I
today.
picked up one of his books. And do you guys have street libraries over in your...
Not in my
Not
town, but
corner?
I've heard of them in other
Yeah, it's
places.
like on every corner there's like a little like wooden cabinet that people just put in books that they don't want anymore, and people like it's give and take sort of thing. So yeah, I picked a Steve Kavanaugh book up from there. I can't remember.
Okay. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I've only read like 20 pages so far, so it's just like introduction of the characters.
Cool.
But that's all I read this week. And then I did want to mention, in case other people want a show recommendation, I've never watched the anime, but we started hearing things about One Piece, and we just could not commit to 35 seasons of the anime. So we're like, let's watch the live action. Watch season one. It's really like cheesy and corny, but like in a good way, like in an
Yeah, I
anime
like
kind
that.
of way.
Yeah.
It's really fun if you're looking for something like different. And there's 2 seasons. We only watched the first season, but I really enjoyed just like the funness of it. It's really easy to watch. So that was kind of an older show that had a new season come out that I kind of started for the first time. And then The Pit, obviously, still watching, which you need to get on because I need to talk to you about it.
Well,
It's
I've
so
got
good.
so many hours on this flight. I might watch The Pit.
That's a little intense for a plane ride, but
Maybe,
more power to you.
maybe.
But yeah, other than that, I think the only thing I watched this week movie-wise was I actually finally watched Civil War. I never got to watch that in
Oh, what'd
2024
you
when it
think?
came out. I thought it was really well done, like from a journalist perspective and just like really like gut-wrenching and just really interesting perspective movie. I don't know if people are so upset about it. I think that what it was trying to accomplish as far as like showing the perspective of a specific group of people, I thought it did a really good job. I thought the actors were amazing. I love Kaylee Spaney, obviously. I know you do
So,
too. So I thought it was good.
yeah, I agree. I agree.
Yeah, I don't know what the big fuss is, but yeah. And then I watched Spaceballs because we got our physical media in the mail,
Fuck yeah, you did.
and then I watched Luck of the Irish on St. Patty's Day just for fun.
What's
The
Luck of the
Disney movie.
Irish?
It's like
Oh,
a classic Disney Channel original movie that I grew
I
up on.
remember this. Yes, yes, yes. With
Yeah, it came out 25 years ago to the day on St. Patty's Day,
yes.
so I was watching
Hell
it for
yeah.
its little anniversary.
Hell yeah. I remember this. I remember this cover perfectly. That's
Ryan
correct.
Merriman. Yeah. So that's my week. And then Knock at the Cabin and Whiplash. So that's
Nice.
me. What about you?
Nice. Movie wise, watch Project Hail Mary.
So jealous.
It's great. As two people that have read the book, you're going to be very happy. Like it's exactly what I imagined the book was, and that's like a really high compliment. I feel like for the film.
Yeah.
When Rye was first cast, I was like, okay, maybe we'll see, sort of thing. But like, and then like, he hasn't done anything bad. He's never put a bad performance.
Mm-mm.
He's made for this role. Like he's fucking incredible as
Well,
Rye
he's been
Mace.
involved for like 5 years. He
I
he
know.
got the manuscript of the book before it was even fully published, and so
Isn't
he's
that
been a
awesome?
part of it from the beginning and like part. So it makes sense when you know that, and then once you've
Yeah.
read it, you can picture
You can
him
really just
as you're
tell.
reading it. Yeah.
You can really just tell like he put everything in this, and like it's a beautiful film. So definitely go see it. Saw Ready or Not 2, or Ready or Not Here I Come. It's fine.
You
It's
love the first one like I do?
loved the
Okay.
first one, and
That's what I thought.
it feels too much like it's trying to do the first one again.
Yeah.
And there's like in the first one, there's so many good side characters of like
Hmm.
of these personalities. There's some good inclusions for this new one, like kind of like a quick synopsis is like Double or Nothing. It kind of think of it like John Wick. It's like the high table is above the people that they were
Yeah.
killing in the first film. And it's like Double or Nothing, and they have to do it again at this like luxury country club golf course. And it's all these families kind of like competing against each other, and whoever wins kind of rules the world in a way. And it's all kind of run by the lawyer that is of this organization, and that's Elijah Wood. And he's by far, next to Samara Weaving, he's by far the best part of this film. He's
I
fucking
believe it.
awesome. And they got a great like little like addition with this movie is one member of each family is like hunting her on this like country club, and the rest of the families are in like this like I don't know like meeting room like overseeing the golf course, just like watching it and if the family member dies, then the next oldest person in the family gets subbed in. And it's like so that's really fun. It's a really fun.
Okay.
They do a couple of jokes that like with that, and it's really really good. Yeah, I gave it three out of five. I thought it was good, but just like go in expecting that, and you're
Yeah.
gonna like it. But it's just nowhere near as good as Ready or Not. Like
It's going to be hard to recreate the magic
that's what
because
I'm
it's just
saying.
the
It really
concept
feels
was
like
so good.
they're trying to capture lightning in the bottle. It really feels
Yeah.
like. But yeah, it's fun. But it's just tough going into that movie right after seeing Project Hail Mary. I'm
Right.
continuing on. I'm going to try and just power through in the next couple of days because I'm just addicted to it. Golden Sun, which is book 2 of Red Rising. This series is immaculate. Like it's just I can't explain it. So like I know that Soups has read the first. I don't know if he's read the back three. Probably has. It's 6 books and there's 2 trilogies kind of thing. I think there's a big time jump in the middle of the trilogies. Um, it's so goddamn good. This like world I'm just infatuated by. So I can't stop reading that. Migs has read the first 2 as well. So she's like kind of saving the third for our trip so that it'll be like a buddy read, like on the
She
flight.
cruises through books. Every time
It's
I see her
fucked.
updates, I'm like, how are
It's
you
fucked.
already
Dude, she started
70%
reading
through?
Sunrise of the Reaping like
I
two
saw.
days ago, and I'm like sitting down in bed, and I look over, and she's like in the last third of it. I'm like, what the fuck are you? She's
It's
just like,
probably like
yeah,
how we watch movies, like how it's just like so
yeah,
easy. I don't know, it's just they
yeah. She's
fast
nuts.
readers.
She's crazy. But yeah, that's kind of it. I was gonna kind of put a couple books in between it, but like we don't have time, so I just moved from Golden Sun to I think
Yeah.
Morning Star is the third book. So do that. But enough of that, Ash. Let's get into the movie because today we are talking about Knock at the Cabin, which of course was directed by probably one of my favorite directors, M Night Shyamalan. Like has he done bad movies? Absolutely. Has he done great movies? Absolutely. But he's always exciting. When
Hmm.
M Night movie's coming out, I can't wait. I can't wait for Remain. I know that's now coming out next year, but like you've read the book of Remain, we both know what's going to happen. And I think we can both agree that the story of Remain is definitely going to be better on screen than it is
Yeah.
on book. I think there's going to be a lot of stuff that he can play with there. But this is Knock at the Cabin. It came out in 2023, so this was made during COVID, and it's very evident that it was. You can kind of tell. Budget of 20 mil, box office of 55. That's pretty standard for M Night movies. Quick synopsis is while vacationing vacationing, that's the word, a girl and her parents are taken hostage by armed strangers who demand that the family make a choice to avert the apocalypse. Now, this is based on a book by Paul Tremblay. It's not called Knock at the Cabin. It's called The Cabin at the End of the World. I read it last couple of weeks. So I'll be able to, throughout the story, kind of put in the differences. A lot of it is very reminiscent, but the ending is quite different. So I'll go through the two differences. The ending is like, yeah, we'll get to it. But until then, Ash, what's your like thoughts of Knock at the Cabin? What's your history of it?
Yeah, I'm like you. I don't think I'm as passionate about like loving M. Night like you are, but I still
Yeah,
think his movies are always exciting, like you said. I remember
exciting.
seeing the trailer and I saw this one in theaters when it came out, and that was my only time watching it until this rewatch.
Same.
I think the only thing that kind of underwhelmed me when I first watched it was just the fact that I'd seen the trailer and for another, it was in another movie, the trailer for this had come on, and they show
For sure, a lot.
bits of like apocalypse-esque things happening. I kind of wish they didn't do that because then in the
You're like
movie,
guessing, right?
when you're guessing where things are going, I already knew it was probably going somewhere like that, which obviously it plays out differently than what I was thinking, but I still wish the trailer I didn't see it. That's not his fault. That's just unfortunately what happens with movie trailers. So that's just an example of kind of where I was going into it, but I still
Yeah.
enjoyed it on first watch. On rewatch, it was a little bit like just more like fine. I wasn't like, oh my God, that was cool. I was just kind of like, okay, yeah, I like it. I don't love it. I think it's got some really like good highlights and it's got some things that bother me. So the way he frames people in his movies sometimes just really drives me nuts. I hate when he gets really up close to people's faces and like the angles. It's just something that drives me nuts personally. So that kind of takes me out of it. But I love the actors, especially like Dave Bautista's great. I think Ben Aldridge, who plays Andrew, the more like kind of manly, I guess, like gun slinging dad. Um, what happened to him? This actor, I think he's great, and he was in two movies in like the same year, and then he's disappeared for the last
Yeah.
4 years. No clue where he is, but I think he's fantastic. I think he's one of my favorites in this movie. Ren's great. Obviously, she's super cute, and she's really good at showing like the fear. But yeah, I just like that it takes you on a journey of just like, are they actually going to do this, or are we gonna? Is this going to be just like an invasion? Like you don't really know if it's going to truly be an apocalypse. And I think it's kind of ballsy that like it actually ends up being that. So I actually like that aspect of it, that it's not just some like trick that they're trying to play on them.
Yeah.
So that aspect of it works for me. And I think that the cinematography is really good as well. And a lot of the visuals are really good. So yeah, I think it's just like it's a good movie. It's not gonna wow you and it's not bad. Like some people really don't like it. I just think it's like fine. It's just like right in the middle of the road for me.
I agree. I think the book is kind of the same as the movie for me. It's good. Um, I don't think it's bad. I think it's fantastic. I'll probably never read or watch this again
Yeah.
unless I'm doing like a full M Night binge. But like, yeah. So the book is a little bit different. Like it's more like a psychological thriller. Like it focuses on
Okay.
like doubt, faith, and moral dilemma. There's a big element that Eric is very religious in the
Okay.
book. So whilst he sees like when he gets the concussion in the first sacrifice, he sees like little like light. In the book, it's like he sees a light, a figure made out of light, and he very much it goes back to him um, being a very much a Christian and kind of seeing that as God and everything like that. So that whilst the movie is much more like a straight horror, apocalyptic thriller, in a way, it's
I
bigger
like that
emphasis
better,
on
to be
yeah,
honest.
yeah, it's bigger emphasis on like tension, violence, and spectacle. It leans into the idea of something supernatural is actually happening, whilst the book is much more ambiguous and it constantly questioning if the intruders are insane, which is pretty cool. So I agree with you. I like. I've only seen this once before this, and that was when it was in cinema. I loved the lead up. I think that the clear standout of this film is Batista. I thought he like him as Leonard is perfect. Like
Hmm.
the character of Leonard's just Batista. Like in the book, of it's just like this gentle giant who like he's like trying to calm everyone, and he's just like I know he's like very reasoning as well. He's very fair, and he's like I know we're scaring you. I know there's nothing I can say that won't scare you now. It's
Yeah.
like, but we have to get through this together, sort of thing. It's like more of a. He always sees it as like a. There's one bit of the book where he says, they put on the TV and they see, like the plague and shit, where it's the like rise in sickness cases. And he's just like, this is what you did. I mean, this is what we did. We did this because we didn't complete our task. And he's like, he very much sees it as like this isn't you guys. This is everyone's here now together. Everyone's making this sacrifice together, sort of thing, which is pretty cool. Makes sense about the box office. This isn't a very like highly marketable sort of film, so I didn't not that surprised about that. I do think for me, for me this is like run of the mill in the middle of M Night's filmographies, where it goes from like there's ones at the lower end, of course, but then this one would definitely go towards the good-ish films. So it would like stand aside alongside, maybe just below The Visit. Like I really like The Visit a bit
Yeah.
more, but
I think this one just doesn't have as much rewatchability as some of his other movies. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know if it's just like seeing it once is like great, and then seeing it a second time to kind of like go in with the mindset of knowing how it ends is great. But I can't imagine like a third or fourth watch of this, like knowing everything, knowing all the, tension and just like where it leads to. I just don't think it has the rewatchability. And some of the side characters I really don't enjoy. Like I don't really enjoy either of the female characters of the four like horsemen. And obviously Rupert Grant I always enjoy, but he's like a piece of shit in this, and I don't think
he's very much the
he's
exact
not
same
in it
in
very
the
long.
book as well. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I feel like when you have like not that many interesting characters and you have this closed setting, to have rewatchability, you have to do a lot of interesting things, and I just don't think this movie has it. But that's not to say it's not worth watching. But I agree. I think The Visit, for example, is like there's so much rewatchability. It's really like fun. So definitely agree.
All right, 7-year-old Wen is vacationing with her father's Daddy Eric and Daddy Andrew at a remote cabin in rural Pennsylvania. Wen is super connected to nature. She collects various types of grasshoppers and gives them names and records everything that she observes about them. Exactly the same way the book opens. She's approached by a stranger named Leonard, played by Dave Bautista, who explains that he needs Wen and her parents' help to save the world. Leonard's arms are heavily tattooed. Wen says that she will learn to take care of animals when she grows up. Leonard notices that Wen calls her dads by their first name, so that not to create confusion in the house of who she's talking to. Additionally, Wen understands that she has a unique situation of having two fathers, and does not bother her that others at school judge her and treat her differently. I think that's a really good line. It's just like the only time I don't like it was when my guidance counselor says that it's so great that I have two dads. When I feel like she's saying the opposite. I was like, oh,
I love her mannerisms in that
yeah,
whole opening scene. Like she really sets the tone,
yeah, she's
mixed with
great.
him, with her, obviously. I think they're both really great there.
For sure. So Wen has a broken lip from when she was born, and tells Leonard that it took a lot of doctors to fix it. Wen gets scared when Leonard says that she and her parents will have to make some tough decisions, and runs back into the house. I love that the great line here is like, what are you sorry for? It goes, for what I have to do. Or something like that. It was like, that's a good line. She warns her parents and shuts the doors to the house. Leonard and his three associates knock on the door, specifically 7 times. Leonard says, because 7 is, of course, a very biblical number. Leonard says that he and his associates want to come in and talk. Wen is scared and says that Leonard and his friends are carrying weapons. Andrew and Eric are not able to call the police as the phone lines are being cut. Andrew bluffs that he has a gun, whilst it is actually in the back of his truck. As you've alluded to already, Ash, that like Andrew is much more of the gun wielding sort of type. We get into this a bit more into the book, but you see the flashback of him getting beaten up in a bar by Redmond, and after that he kind of just like completely put his life towards protection. So he
Yeah.
became like really like took all the classes and everything, and he goes to the gun range and really knows how to use a gun. Leonard and 3 other individuals break in with makeshift weapons and tie them up. Struggling to fight them off, Eric sustains a concussion, and this is very important. Leonard and his companions Sabrina, Adrian, and Redmond claim that they have no intention at harming the family. Leonard cleans the house from all the debris from the breaking in, while Sabrina is a nurse and she takes care of Eric and bandages his wound. which is the back of his head. Redmond is the only one who's overtly aggressive towards the family. Sabrina says that she used most of her life savings to come to Pennsylvania to talk to Eric and Andrew. Leonard is from Chicago and is a second-grade teacher and a part-time bartender. Redmond is from Medford, Massachusetts. Is that how you pronounce it? Massachusetts. And works for a gas company. Adrian was a line cook at a Mexican restaurant in D.C. She has 2 cats named Riff and Raff. Love that. Love that. Eric and Andrew believe that they are being subject to a hate crime against the gays. Andrew and Eric have adopted Wen from a Chinese orphanage. And Eric is a devout Catholic. So he's not Christian, sorry, he's a Catholic. Leonard says that in the past week, they've been driven by visions to find the family. They foresee an impending apocalypse in which oceans will rise, a pandemic will spread, and the sky will fall. The only way to prevent this is for the family to sacrifice one of their own. If they do not make a choice, they will be the last people standing as the rest of humanity, 7 billion plus, will perish. Leonard says that they're... should we stop there? Yeah, stop there. Like, anything kind of to add for the beginning of the film? Very much like just like a... There's a lot of questions here, which I think is good. This is very much in line with the book so far, very much in line. That it's all just ambiguous, which I think is kind of the best way to do it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like I said, I like the opening. I don't like the way it's framed. I really don't like when the camera is too close on people's faces. I'm just much more of like, I like to like sit back and like enjoy like a conversation take place in a very normal way, not like up close and personal. But I like the conversation that's happening. Yeah, I think it does a good job at like her trusting him very quickly, but then having to go into like not trusting him very quickly. I feel like, especially from like a child perspective, that's
I think it's
really
a great
scary.
way to frame Leonard, that he's like very genuine.
Yeah, it's like she trusts him, but then now she's scared. So I feel like there's like it builds connection, but then so quickly shifts. And they never tie her up, which I think is really interesting as well. They only that with the dads. Yeah, I mean, I like Eric and Andrew as people. I like both of those actors. I think that they're both, good. I don't think like I said, I think Ben Aldridge stands out a little bit more for me just because he has a bit more like of a thing to do. But I feel like towards the end, I think that Jonathan Groff has more to do, obviously, like with his sacrifice and everything. So I think they both kind of have their time to shine. But I do think Dave Bautista is definitely like the one that you're going to remember from this movie when you kind of leave it. Obviously, that he's the best wrestler turned actor I think we've ever had.
There's no comparison.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
Cena is funny. Like he's really good at comedy, Cena. But like I could see if we're saying one's going to get an Oscar before the other.
Absolutely.
Like there's no comparison.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I mean, I think that this whole intro is really just building tension, and I think it's asking us all the question, like, maybe what would you do in this situation? Like, I don't consider myself like a very spiritual person or someone who's like religious at all, so I don't really deal with like faith questions. Like, it doesn't really cross my mind. I don't struggle with those questions, but I do find it interesting, to kind of pose the question. This is a movie like that. It's going to make you wonder, like, what would I do? And I looked at Adam when we were watching this and I was like, nope, it's you and Scoop Boo. I don't care about the rest of the world.
That's awesome.
So I think it is one of those interesting questions to think about. But yeah, I mean, on a deeper level, obviously, like having faith in people and what they're telling you is one thing they have to go through. And also having faith that what they're saying is true. Like if you do make this sacrifice, is this actually going to happen? Or is this really just like a joke because, we're gay and they want to like mess with us? Like they have to ask those questions because they've been sidelined in society and like and discriminated against. So it's like there's so many layers to it for these characters, which I think is just really interesting. And then add to the fact they have an adopted daughter too. It's just like they're used to the world looking at them as a family and kind of not being accepting. So I can understand the distrust. And then clearly having Eric being more like have that faith and kind of like see that thing. I think you can kind of tell that they're just on different ends. And that kind of comes to fruition more towards the end, which I think is
in the book as well. It's like a battle of two minds, where Andrew's very much like a let's be realistic here and trying to find reason, when Eric is very much like a doubter. And he's very much like a doubter and a believer in the same way of just like this could actually be real.
Well, he just seems like he's maybe more like the emotional, like
Yeah.
kind of more soft one, and Andrew's a bit more like logical and realistic. And obviously, he's like an attorney, and it just makes sense with what you learn about them. The only thing I wish about this section and just the movie in general is I kind of wish we learned more about the visions. I get why we don't because the focus is more on the characters making the choice,
Yeah,
but I do
it's
feel
more
like
about
because
doubting. It's more about
I
just like
understand, and so they don't want to show us
blind
that
belief and
because
doubt.
yeah,
Yeah,
but it would have been
I
interesting.
fully agree. I fully agree. Like, because this film very much at the end of it very much dives into real. This is real, sort of thing, right? Book's a lot more ambiguous. I think they could have towards the end definitely kind of seen it. Like when it's so obvious when the last sacrifice is happening with Batista that it's actually fucking real
Yeah.
by then, and then we could have been like a little flashback to what he saw
Yes.
as he's telling them. I think that would have been good. Yeah.
Something like that, I think, would have just been interesting. Just because we had so many flashbacks, and I don't mind them. I like that we got to know those characters more. But they did on the second watch feel a little bit more like sporadic to me. Like they did mean something, but I just felt like if we're gonna do that, then maybe we could have shown just something towards the end. I'm not saying do it at the first sacrifice, but yeah, somewhere in there that kind of just gives us a little bit more insight into these four horsemen characters besides just what they tell them in their little speeches. So
Yeah, exactly. Well, that was like half the film that I've done
yeah.
so far. So I'll do the other half, and then I'll go through like the differences of the books because like there's a section where like there's like a moment where it's like completely diverts from the book. So I'm not gonna say when it is. I'll just tell you when I go through the book, so you can kind of see. So Leonard says that Leonard says that every no from the family. I don't know what I've said there. The intruders will unleash every decision that the no is from the family. The intruders will unleash one disaster upon humanity. When the family refuses, the intruders sacrifice Redmond by fatally striking him with with the weapons, which is ridiculous. It's much more gory in the book. Where he like doesn't die at first. He doesn't die straight away. Like
Oh
they
wow.
like also like it's obvious because they don't. These are people that don't kill him. Like they swing from the head and like hit like in towards his mouth and stuff, and he's still like screaming under the thing as is fucked.
Oof.
Yeah. So Eric sees a figure of light as Redmond dies. On television, news reports show devastating mega tsunamis, which is hilarious because like how do they get that footage if there's a giant wave coming? It's just another
Yeah.
thing. Leonard then says that the family will have until the next morning to reflect and decide their next step. Andrew believes Redmond is Rory O'Bannon, a man who'd been arrested after assaulting Andrew in a bar years prior. He thinks Rory tracked him down for revenge. Leonard, Sabrina, and Adrian grapple with guilt, but reveal that Redmond's death has unleashed the first judgment on humanity. When tries to escape via the basement in the evening, but is caught and brought back by Leonard. The next day, the intruders sacrifice Adrian. Meanwhile, a deadly variation of the flu virus spreads across the world. Eric says that he believes that he saw a person in the light before Redmond was executed. Andrew shuts him down by saying that he has a concussion and an extreme sensitivity to light. Andrew claims that the TV news reports are all just pre-programmed shows, which is true. Andrew escapes and gets his gun in the car. He shoots at Sabrina with his gun until she flees. As Leonard is being held at gunpoint, Sabrina breaks in and is fatally shot by Andrew. Leonard decapitates Sabrina, and afterwards, Andrew finds Redmond's wallet and proves to Leonard that he actually was Rory O'Bannon. Redmond confronts Leonard in the bathroom, but Leonard overtakes him. Just overworks him, and grabs Andrew's gun. A TV broadcast reveals that hundreds of spontaneous crashes have occurred around the world. So all the planes kind of just gone down at the same time. Realizing their time is nearly over, Leonard informs the family that after his death, they will only have minutes to make a decision. He then slits his throat. Upon his death, lightning causes fire and more planes crash. Eric now believes that the events are real, and the intruders represent the four horsemen of the apocalypse. Now wanting when to grow up in, not wanting when to grow up in a destroyed world, he offers himself as a sacrifice and envisions an older Andrew and an adult Wen thriving in the future. He feels that their family was chosen to make a sacrifice because their love is so pure. Andrew reluctantly shoots and kills Eric. Andrew and Wen find the visitor's truck with the belongings that collaborate all their stories. They drive to a crowded diner where they watch news reports confirming that the disasters have subsided before driving off. So that is Knock at the Cabin. I'm giving this film... I'm so torn between 3 and 3.5. I'm probably going to lean towards 3. I think it's what I gave the book as well. I think it's good. I think that it does miss a little bit of the source of the book as well towards the end. And... yeah, I think Bautista really just carries this film for me, to be honest. I think Bautista is fantastic. I love the idea of this film, but there's only so much you can do with this idea. That's kind of where I leave it.
Yeah.
So it's more like I'm leaning towards 3.5, but I would give it a 3. It's like a high 3 out of 5.
Yeah, that's totally fair. Yeah, I think I gave it 3.5. I don't know why. I just really enjoy Eric and Andrew's relationship, and I like both of those actors. And I remember seeing this and actually being like pretty impressed by Ben Aldridge and being like, "Who is that?" And then I was excited to see him in more stuff. So that always helps when I like find an actor that I just find interesting that I've never seen before. But yeah, I mean, I definitely don't think that it's not anything like amazing, and I do think that what holds it back a little bit is maybe like the style of the apocalypse being introduced as well. Like I found it quite cheesy, like the news reports and like how quickly it spread. I get it. They're trying to like show how much of a urgency it is, but like the big wave and like the planes falling and the big like illness spreading that fast, it kind of felt like just super unbelievable to me. So I guess in that sense, it just was a little bit corny in my opinion. But I get it. I don't know if that's just how the book is. So he was obviously just trying to adapt it that way. I'm not necessarily blaming M. Night, but I just don't know if there's a way to showcase some of those things in a film and not have it look a little bit like I thought some of like the CGI was just a little bit poor, and I just kind of thought those scenes took me out of it a little bit. But I do think it was ballsy that like it actually was an apocalypse. I like that aspect of the story.
Yeah.
Just didn't love the execution, I guess. But I like the inclusion of Boogie Shoes because I'm very much a fan of Casey and the Sunshine Band. So that helps for me. That adds at least a half star for me.
I like that.
But yeah, I think that it's really emotional towards the end. And I guess the whole point of the movie is like having doubts the whole time that they're telling you all of this so that you can really question like, is it possible? And like Andrew finds every possible way. Oh, they're looking at their watches. Oh, they're doing this. Like he tries to connect two things that don't actually go together to try to justify it because he has so much doubt that this is actually possibly a real thing. And I'm with him. I was with him the whole way. I was like, I have doubts too. This seems crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think it's a really interesting premise. I just don't think it's executed in all the right ways. So yeah, 3.5 for me. Probably will never watch it again, but that's not to say it's bad. I just don't think there's much rewatchability after the second one.
That's fair. So the book's a bit different.
Tell
So
me.
in the movie, I think the order of sacrifices is Redmond, Adrian, Sabrina, then Leonard, right?
That's the same as the movie, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the movie. Sorry, that's the movie.
Okay.
In the book, it's Redmond, Adrian, Leonard, Sabrina. So
Interesting.
they must have just been like, hey, we can make a massive character out of Leonard. Let's change it so that he lives longer.
Yeah.
So everything that like there's only one technical sacrifice that happens, which is Redmond. That happens in the same as in the book, and then between they're about to do the sacrifice of Adrian, and everything kind of goes awry, and they get out of their ropes and stuff, and they start just having a fight, and Andrew fucking hightails it to the car, and he gets hit in the knee as well, and that's like for the rest of the movie he can hardly walk because his knee is like purple.
That's a brutal scene in the car.
Fucked. And he gets the gun. Sabrina still runs off. He goes back into the house and he shoots and kills Adrian, and that's like Adrian's dead. And then him and Leonard are wrestling in the bathroom, getting the gun out, and there's a line of saying Leonard's hands contract over mine, over I think Andrew's, and squeeze, and a bullet goes off and it hits Wen. Wen dies.
What?
And they're just like, immediately, Leonard's just like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Like, he just continually says this. He goes, I wish this didn't happen. And they're just like, so is this all fucking over now? Like, they're just like screaming at him. He's like, is this all fucking over? And they turn on Leonard's like, I have a feeling it's not. And turn it on the TV. Still disaster's happening. And Leonard turns to them and goes, she was not a willing sacrifice. She does not count. You still have to make a choice. So then Sabrina comes in, and it's by time to make the choice again. And Sabrina sees that that Wen's dead and goes, I don't care about this shit anymore. My goal now is to get you out of here. But then when, like, they don't really explain it in the movie at all. If when they're doing the sacrifice on each other, they go into like a trance that is like they can't be controlled. It's like very much like they explain it at first in the book of, I think it was Adrian or Sabrina, one of them was like, I didn't want to believe this and I didn't want to go. I didn't want to come here at all. So I like refused to come here. I went to sleep and I woke up in a cab on the way to the airport. And it's like, it's very much like a trance of like, you're forced to kind of do this now. You're like, so she gets into a trance automatically. Like when she's like, you know, this isn't happening anymore. Like my now main goal is to get you to the truck so you can drive away. She gets into the trance and she picks up the weapon, sprints at Leonard, just slices him down right in the middle of the head. Bam, gone. Leonard's dead. It's just Sabrina and Eric and Andrew, and she's like, "Let's go now. Let's fucking go." And so they're walking down because there's like 2 miles towards the main road, and she shows where they hid the car keys because the car keys weren't just in the fucking front seat at all. And they find it, and she just goes, I feel it now. This is the time. I have to go. This is like, I won't be able to control this. You only have a couple of minutes. And she turns to Eric because she knows that Eric is the spiritual one. She goes, you were kind of the only chance now. You have a couple minutes to make a decision. And then she like kills herself. And then Eric it's leading up to Eric and Andrew being like Andrew going to kill him. And it's very much like kind of the same discussion. They'd never say that they're the 4 horses of the apocalypse. It's always kind of like hinted towards it, but it's never said it. I think they do that really well in the movie, of like how they're going through the different reasoning of wrath and like nurture and learning and stuff. I think that's great. They're about to do it, and then Andrew's just like, but like, I can't live if you're gone, and you're all who I care about. And then it's like, let's just live. And they just like throw the gun away, get into the car, drive off into the sunset. So we don't know, and that's literally the end of the book. So we don't know if the world collapses around them and they still just live, but it's so ambiguous, and they're just like, fuck it. Like, the world around us hates us anyway. It is what it is.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
well, I'm never going to read the book, obviously, so I'm glad you told me all that. But it doesn't
like,
surprise me that M. Night
scene though where Wen dies and they're like, it wasn't a willing sacrifice.
Awful.
Yeah. So I get why they couldn't really put that in the movie, but at the same time, I really wish they did. Because like that would have been.
But like M. Night loves family and like his kids. I could never see him making a movie where like a little like 8-year-old gets shot and it's like doesn't count for anything. I just can't see that.
Yeah. But that is
brutal.
That is the book, though. So they're very different. So it's like you can't really say which one's better. But I don't know. They're very different and more brutal. Definitely in the book for sure. But I loved that ending in a way that it's just like so bleak. It's so like it really takes you all like back of when Leonard's just there being like, bad news, bad news. Still in this, still in the game. Yeah.
Crazy.
So that is Knock at the Cabin. Next week we are starting our 2 months of new series, which is going to be 1-word bangers. So each movie will be 1-word titled. We're starting up next week with Whiplash, Damien Chazelle's. Then we're going through to Snatch, then to Jordan Peele's.
He is
Nope.
Peak.
Yep. So we've got Whiplash, Snatch, Nope. Then we're going to Tangerine, which is Sean Baker. Yep. Then we're going to Cloud, a movie I've never seen, which I can't wait for. Then Sunshine, Zodiac, and we're finishing it off with Possession. That's some cool fucking movies, right there. Cool
Some
fucking
big
movies.
directors too. I mean, we've got Jordan Peele, we've got Sean Baker, we've got Guy Ritchie,
Yep,
we've got Damien Chazelle, we've
I think
got
so as well.
Fincher,
Yeah.
and even Cloud is Kurosawa.
Mm. Sick. That's right. Yeah, that's right.
So
Hell yeah.
a lot
So
of
for
variety.
next week, please do watch Whiplash. But until then, we're going to go into a little collaborative draft for M. Night Shyamalan films. We're going to do his top 10 because actually haven't seen After Earth, which fair enough, and Lady in the Water. So we're going to leave them off, but then we're also going to cut some because we're going to do top 10.
Yeah. So last time I think I had the top spot, or you did, I can't remember, but let's reverse it this time. So I'll be drafter B and you can be drafter A.
Yes, I get
So you'll
odds or evens.
want no, you do odds.
Okay,
Last time you did evens.
cool.
So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay, so I'll do the 10th pick and then yeah, 9, then so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, right off the get-go, I've seen 12 of his 14 films, and I'm going to go ahead and just say that I'm not picking Avatar or The Happening.
Yeah.
So my like bottom after that would for number 10, I would put Old. I did not like this movie. I don't get it. Maybe I'll get it one day, but I just don't get it right now.
That's fair enough. I don't love Old. I thought the twist was awesome, though. I loved the twist, but I agree with you. I like is what it is. That's okay.
And we could still have both have one veto like we normally do.
Yeah, I'm kind of torn between two movies at the moment for the next one. So I'm probably gonna put Knock at the Cabin here in number 9.
Okay, I'm fine with that. Okay, then I would probably say Glass would be
That was
8.
the
I don't
two.
think I'd
That was
want
the
it
two.
much higher than that. I don't hate it like some people do, but I definitely don't think it deserves to be higher than that.
No, no, no. I don't hate any of these films, to be honest. Okay. So now we get into the good shit, though.
We have a couple we I think agree on, and then we have a couple I think that like you like a lot more than me. So be curious to see where
Interesting.
it goes.
All right. So probably I'm probably gonna put The Visit here,
Okay,
number
I
7.
am definitely okay with that. This is where I feel like you may not be happy with me, but this is where I would put it. I would say Trap would be 6 for me. It's not that it's bad. I think it's really fun, but I don't think it's better than the rest of the movies that are left.
Okay, what is left? We've got Split, Trap.
Split, The
God,
Sixth Sense, Trap, and Unbreakable Signs in the Village.
I'm gonna allow this. Not
Okay.
happily, but I will allow it.
I think it's a fun movie, trust me. I just think I think there's other more interesting movies that he's made
Okay.
than Trap.
Okay. Um, this is where I'd put Split.
I'm gonna veto that. That's my favorite M. Night movie.
Okay. Well, this is where I would probably put The Village.
That's fine. I like that one, but I like Split more.
Okay.
I only had one condition. I was gonna veto Split if it didn't at
Let's
least
get
get
top
into the
3.
top
That's fine.
4.
In top 4. Yeah. Well, it's getting top 4 definitely.
Um, okay, this is probably, I'll be honest. Okay, I like Unbreakable more, just as like far as what I can rewatch more.
hmm
But for iconicness, I think that The Sixth Sense deserves to be higher. So I'm gonna put Unbreakable here at
Cool.
number 4.
Cool. Well, I'm putting Split it. Wait. Unbreakable's 5.
No, Village is 5.
I got Old at 10, 9 Knock at the Cabin, 8 Glass, 7 The Visit, 6 The Village, 5.
No, Trap. Trap 6.
That's where it is.
I'm evens, yeah. And then you got The Village at 5, and then Unbreakable at 4. So now we're in the top 3. There's The Sixth Sense, Signs, and Split left.
Gotcha.
Sorry, you said Split is what you're picking next?
Yeah. So is that number
3.
3 or 4?
It's 3.
Cool. Split.
I'm writing it down, by the way, too, as well.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
We missed one.
No.
No, I don't think so
I'm gonna do The Sixth Sense. It's not my personal number two, but it is iconic for life. So it wouldn't be what I would normally put there, my personal list, but I know that you want Signs to be number one, so I'm gonna
Yes,
give it to you.
I was very much holding on to my veto in case it wasn't.
No, I like it more than a lot of these, so I wasn't gonna put it low.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Do you want me to recap it, or did you want to?
Or you.
Okay, so at 10 we have Old, 9 we have Knock at the Cabin, 8 Glass, 7 The Visit, 6 Trap, 5 The Village, 4 Unbreakable, 3 Split, 2 The Sixth Sense, and 1 Signs. I think that's a pretty good
That's
list.
a pretty good. I'm happy with that. I'd put Trap probably 4, but and I'd probably move Split like maybe 1 or 2 down. But again, this is like hairs. They're probably all. I probably rate them all the same. So it's just like
It's fair enough.
preference on the day sort of thing, you know.
I just really love Split. I have ever
Split's
since I
mad,
saw
dude.
it.
Split's mad.
And I just with Trap, there's just certain things with the dialogue that bug me. I think Josh Hartnett is amazing, and he makes that movie for me. But yeah. But anyways, yeah, great list.
Nice one. Well, again, next week, please watch Whiplash. Until then, I'm Harry and Sash. Love Death Movies. See you at the movies.